Parak Mishameis Daf Kuf Nun, sponsored the Refuah Shalema for Elisha ben Devorah. On the previous Amud, a Mishnah stated a master who gives all his property to his slave, except for any amount of land, he is not free. Rav Dimi Bar Yosef claimed the law is the same if he retains any amount of movable property. Although a slave is legally more similar to land, in reality he is similar to movable property. Abaye proved from this the term land does not always mean land literally. The master's retention of land could refer to the slave resolving Rav Yosef's question. The answer, Rav Yosef attributes the use of the word karka, land, as a continuation of the Reisha. Rabbi Akiva discusses laws relating to one who owns any amount of land. Number one, he is obligated to bring bikurim and leave payah. Number two, a debtor who owns any amount of land suffices for the creditor to write a prosbol, a document transferring his debt to the court for collection, not cancelled by Shemitah. Number three, one can use any amount of land to perform a kinyan agav, acquire movable property by way of land. This is why the term land was not to be taken literally in this Mishnah. Gemara now addresses the second question of Rav Yosef. The Brisa states the Shchimera retains a kol shehu. Two Chachamim on the previous Amud explain it is the amount of land needed to support himself. The Gemara brings a machlokus between Rav Dosa and the Chachamim regarding the mitzvah of Reishis Hagez. Rav Dosa holds it must be 5 sheep each shorn for approximately 25 ounces of fleece. The Chachamim hold altogether 25 divided between the 5 sheep equally. Although the Chachamim state the shear is a kolshu, the amount is more. The answer. There the term kolshu was used to emphasize the difference between the two opinions. The Gemara discusses now what is included in a gift termed metaltalin, movable property. Number one, metaltalin. The benefactor states, my movable property to Ploni. It includes utensils, excludes food and animals. Number two, kol ha-metaltalin, anything that is moved including food and animals, even things not moved except for maintenance. Number three, kol dimetaltel, anything that can be moved includes even large items such as brake fronts that are never moved. Gemara questions whether slaves are included in metaltalin. Although legally they are compared to land, declaring a gift depends on the benefactor's use of the term. A proof. A Brisa states one who sells a city included in the sale are only fixed items such as homes, bathhouses, olive presses, etc. However, if he states, Hayir v'chol asher ma b'socha, the Brisa states, afilu behemos v'avadim, even movables such as animals and slaves. Apparently, slaves are categorized as metaltalin. The refutation. The Brisa states even slaves. Apparently, they are a unique category because they move on their own. The second proof. The beginning of our daf distinguished between a slave and a married woman. A master who retained even movable property, his slave is not free. Apparently, it is because slaves are categorized as movables. The refutation. Rav Ashi explains it is not because a slave is categorized as movables. It is because the bond between him and his master is not completely severed. A wife, for example, for her divorce to be effective, the verse states he must give her a sefer krisus, complete severance. Same applies to a slave. Since he does not divest his whole estate to a slave but retains certain rights, the bond between them remains. The Gemara mentions 5 gifts where the laws differ if all or part was gifted. Number one is shchimera. If he divested his estate fully, recovers from his illness, the gift is retracted, otherwise it stands. Number two, an eved. His master conveys to him his whole estate, then he goes free, otherwise he remains a slave. Number three, ishto. Her husband conveys his whole estate to her at the expense of his children. It is assumed he appointed her administrator of the estate. Number four, banav. He conveyed his whole estate to his sons, assigning one parcel to his wife. She forfeits collecting her ksuba from his children. However, if he did not convey all, there is no forfeiture. Number five, mivrachas. A woman retains ownership of her estate in order to prevent her second husband from acquiring part, must convey it fully to a trusted third party to retract it upon divorce or being widowed. Gemara states the unique laws of 4 gifts apply not only if he conveys land, but even if he conveys movable property except for a wife. She does not forfeit her ksuba unless she receives land. A meimar qualifies this. Movable property included in her ksuba for collection that she agreed to receive and still extant forfeits her rights to the son's property. If you're enjoying Daf and Fi, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.